great fan following on LinkedIn. Every viewer knows. So you must be getting, thousands of DMs. Please, how should I get a job? How should I apply? So how should one actually find a job? Like many of students are not able to, get response through ACCA careers that has actually been built for the job purposes. But what are the alternative despite that ACCA job portal? So what would you suggest to our viewers?
So the first thing before all of this, the main thing I need to emphasize is on the fact that every student have to prepare a proper CV. I believe you might have gone through multiple CVs, right?
Right.
Maybe the students might have directly shared you.
Right.
So if we look at some CVs, some student CVs are almost like visiting cards. So they won't be much content in that. And
Right.
especially most majority of students will not be preparing CV with ATS format. So I believe you are familiar with the application tracking system.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
ATS software which are being used by almost all the major employers. So the ATS software will be filtering out the CVs.
Okay.
So when you prepare a CV, either you have to prepare it on the proper format that is based on Microsoft Word, or when you prepare the CVs in PDF format, it should be in readable format. Then only ATS software will be able to track it.
Right.
And one of the most common mistake most majority of students used to do is that they will be spending a lot of time to learn these 13 papers. And they have spent around years to become an ACCA member, like almost more than 16 years now, right? From their very childhood onwards, they started learning many things, completed their graduation, post-graduation, ACCA and everything.
Right.
And nobody is willing to spend at least 2 or 3 hours just to prepare a proper CV. Even ACCA have given guidelines on how to prepare CV. I have also uploaded multiple videos in my YouTube channel relating to same.
Okay.
But still, when I get a CV, I cannot find most majority of CV in the same format. So every student should focus on preparing a good quality CV. Especially you can ask your mentors, you can ask any of your friends or their colleagues who might be working in any big four or other firms. So
Right.
this is one of the main things. Then the student should be properly be drafting a covering letter or a proper email draft for the purpose of sending CV. So they should be spending time for that as well. That's the second thing. And the third thing, many of the students will be getting access to the employer, but at the stage of interview, many student fails. And again, the same thing. They might not even be considering about the job description for which job they are applying for. So when they appear for an interview, basically when we take the interview, one of the main thing that we usually used to face is that most majority of students will not be preparing for the interview properly. They will dress up very well. They will be sitting very confidently, but they might not have revised anything relating to the job role they are applying, or they might not be having any familiarity relating to even the company they are applying to. So that is one of the main mistakes that the students should avoid actually. The students should be preparing properly for the interview as well. Because all the 2 or 3 years spending for the ACCA, nobody is spending at least 2 hours, which you usually used to price in before the exams. So if you really want to get a job, you have to prepare very well, like how you usually prepare for an ACCA exam. So that's the main thing. Then you start applying for the job interviews. And when you apply it, as I mentioned earlier, you should be considering the job description well. You should be focusing on the qualification or the experience requirements that the employer is looking at. Say, for example, there are many students usually used to get very quickly demotivated. They might be applying for the job openings that are actually applicable for ACCA members. Right. And the students might have already completed the first 9 papers. He will apply for the same post and he will mention that he have applied in multiple LinkedIn posts. He have shared CV to multiple person, but still I'm not able to find the job. But that is not the right means, because there are, even in the ACCA careers also, there are specific jobs that are applicable for the freshers. There are specific jobs that are applicable for the ACCA part qualified, as well as for the ACCA members. And when it comes to the ACCA affiliates as well, in some job role, they will be specifically mentioning that that particular candidate should be preferred to have high knowledge in Arabic language, for example, or high knowledge in any specific language. So all these criteria have to be met. And especially when you prepare a CV, your CV should be properly based on the job role and the job description and the quality they demand. So you should be using the keywords that are mentioned in the CV. and the keyword should match with that of the job description. So all this have to be mainly be considered. So the main thing that I will mention is that you should properly be preparing a proper CV. Then you should start applying for the job and make it ATS friendly.
Right, that is the main thing. Instead of focusing, on which platform to apply on, right? It doesn't matter. You need to apply it in the right manner. Even I get lot
Exactly.
of DMs. I get just a para and a resume attached. No follow up, nothing, no hi. Follow up. I will like, you need to follow up to the person. Have you referred? What's the update? You just forget it. You just copy paste. You just attach a resume and your job is over. So that's something you cannot do, and that's not something you can expect from other person also. So we have only 5 minutes left for the podcast, and it's my favorite question that I ask to each and every guest. So in less than 2 minutes, could you please brief where do you see ACCA in next 5 years?
So basically, talking about the Indian market itself, ACCA will be having a lot of opportunity in the upcoming years, especially as I mentioned earlier, being working very closely with ACCA academics and ACCA marketing and all of the teams in India. ACCA is working very much hard to get more of opportunities in the Indian market itself. Especially as we know, we can see a lot of opening in the big four firms. And in addition to the big four firms, also students are getting a lot of opportunities in other private sector, even in banks and other sectors as well. So
Right.
ACCA is getting a lot of job opportunities now itself. So definitely in the next 5 years, ACCA's future will be really high because the whole team is working behind that. So we can definitely expect a very bright, lot of opening, and definitely all the students who are currently studying and all the upcoming students will be able to get one of the best opportunities in the upcoming global market. Not only in Indian market, definitely in the global market.
Wow. That's like a good news to all my viewers because I hope if you are watching this podcast, you are an ACC student or you are an ACC affiliate. So that's a sort of relief that yes, I chose the correct profession for my career and it has a bright future. So that's a sort of guarantee that everybody wants in their life. So, listening from mentors like you actually makes it more credible statement instead of me mentioning the same thing. So that's why I asked every mentor that please, enlighten my viewers with the next 5 years, despite the fact future is very uncertain. So we don't know where, next degree may pop up. But yeah, ACC does have a great future. So, how was your experience about this podcast? Finally, we have come to our end, and I will end it up soon. And if you could just tell your experience.
Definitely, it was a very informative session, both for us as well as for the
Right.
viewers, I believe, because we have discussed a lot about the ACCA specific
Right.
to the subject and about the global opportunities that the students are going to get in future, as well as definitely about the points that they need to focus on.
Right.
So in total, it was really a very great session, and thank you so much for the opportunity.
And
Thank you so much for giving me opportunity to talk to your viewers as well as to the global ACCA market. Thank you so much.
thank you so much, Alan, once again. Thank you so much for taking out time. Thank you guys for